Good evening. Welcome back to the Mancunian Way. My name is Mike. I'm your host, and welcome to your latest fan forum calling show. Good evening, Oz.
Evening, mate. How's it going?
Not too bad. Ozzy's joining us because he's having a week off after this. Lazy bastard is working, so he won't be here Thursday. So I bring him on tonight. But if anyone says, I've seen City's tweet, City Extra tweet. Couple of things. City Extra don't tweet news. They aggregate news. They don't share news. They don't tell you news. They share news. They are an aggregator. So, massive difference. So, no, TNT have said their bit. At the minute, listen to what the tweet says. They are hopeful the Rodrigo thing is still on. Well, yeah, I'm hoping it's going to be sunshining tomorrow. Doesn't mean it will be. Savinho has to go for Rodrigo to come. At the moment, the City board are blocking the move.
One member.
Well, yes, a rather important member.
I'd say so.
So, unless that changes, it ain't happening. And I will say this again, I think it's the club we are dealing with that is the problem. Manchester City and Tottenham Hotspur do not get on. Going way back. From Harry Kane to 115 to everything. It's not even about money now. This is about probably a little bit of principle, which I know some may not want to like. And also think there's a fear of a Cole Palmer number 2 happening. So, yeah. Many factors. Edison still talking. That is one I do think could happen. It is what it is. We'll see. They're still in talks. Galatasaray have to agree a deal with Edison or with City for Edison to leave. So there we go. Right. So there's not really any updates. Yes, Akanji has been discussed. We'll see what happens there. Again, Galatasaray, show me the money. I'm sick of hearing Galatasaray. Galatasaray become Interest FC this season because they won't put any frigging money on the table. I can stick tweets out. We can all put tweets out saying we're interested. Show me the money. Show me the money. Sorry. Anyway, let's say hello to some people. But come in and have your view. One thing when we do open the phone lines, please be respectful to everyone who comes in. If you don't agree with people's opinions, that is fine. Do not get personal. Spot on, Mingy Wong. Kids coming ahead of Rodrigo from Madrid. No, kids. What do you mean kids? I don't get what you mean by kids in drill. What do you mean by kids? I don't get what you mean by that. Is Sabio back in training as he's still injured? No. Why no City Tier 1 source have killed the deal? Many have. They haven't killed. What do you mean killed the deal? Nick, good evening. Is that your old account or your new one? Let me know. I don't know what's been going on. YouTube is having a nightmare. StreamYard, I think it's the connection between StreamYard and YouTube. I think there's some not quite clashing at the moment with those. DC, good evening. Smash those likes early. Yeah, please be respectful. Ben, good evening. Dash, yes. Good evening, mate. Lee Gates, thank you for your very kind £10, mate. Appreciate that. Yes, Martin. Pep's comments about him staying longer. You called it the other day on the show. He could extend. Smash those likes. I don't call anything, mate. Don't, because there's already an apparently so-called ITK wall in our group chat at the moment. Aussie's now trying to step up to be the real ITK in a minute. Yes. Pep Guardiola. Sometimes you got to connect the dots. And that interview was not done today, by the way. No, that interview was it was out today. It wasn't done today. But big up, like in this calling show, please be respectful to the callers coming in and give everyone else in the chat. They have to come on and give their views and listen. Some will be a bit nervous. If you don't want to be on camera, that's fine. But let us know in the private chat when you come in. Yep, say hello to each other. Martin, please tell us some information. It's all I've got. No other info. It's been a bit of a slow day. Info day, if I'm honest. Sounds like a nice day out. Big up Joshua, Lee Gates, like I said, SOS in the building. Craig, welcome back, mate. Hope you're okay. Hope you're good. I will get to your comments. I've read some, and I hope you are doing a lot better, mate. So, Rodrigo back on? No. Again, no. When Savinho, or if Savinho moves, then you can start getting giddy about Rodrigo. Not until. Nick says, hope not. Hi, guys. So, Mr. Lies have been treated for the prostate cancer. I hope you're okay, mate, and I hope you are feeling a lot better. Thoughts and prayers with you, mate. So, says Fab and so-called Tier 1 on Twitter. What's Fabrizio said? Or has he just regurgitated everything he's been saying the last week? Doesn't actually give you anything new, Fabrizio. He just rewords things, and no one notices it. My source telling me Martin hired up at City blocking this video deal. Yep. Never know exactly. Did you not see reaction? Did you not see what? Did you not see reaction tonight? Reaction to what? I don't get it. Evening, Lee. How are you, mate? Craig, all the best to you. Hope you're okay. Spot on. Is it not odd that knows of the City source said Sarah's definitely staying? I think if Spurs sent the record bid, the deal happens. Few of them have. Prayers to you, Craig. Yes, all the best, Craig. Big up. Craig, I wish you. Yeah, by the way, big up to James Trafford, PFA Championship Player of the Year for Burnley, not for Manchester City, but we'll take that accolade. I don't mind. I'll be shameful. Big up to Manchester City's Championship goalkeeper. I can't even just say it with that straight face. Martin, what's up with what's up, Don Martin, and what's the deal with Rodrigo? There is no deal with Rodrigo. I don't know what Bean want me to say on this. There is no deal with Rodrigo. Congrats to Trafford. Yes, now in recovery, I had all clear first stage. So that's good. Although further tests will be carried out. Yes, thank you, guys. I'm hopeful Margot Robbie will answer my DMs. Hey, keep trying. You never know. You never know, Chroma Best. That's what amazes me. People, that's what Fabrizio does. They're still in negotiations. That's an update. I mean, big up Fabrizio for what he does, but he don't have some of yous on little puppet strings just dancing away at his tunes. I think they just want a record fee. Record fee for what? We're talking a lot of money there, mate. We're talking over 95 million to get. They're not paying that. Madrid are hoping for a pissing contest between City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Yes. How are you doing, AK? Craig Patter, tell us something, bro. Hi, AK. Well, he's just said he's not been in work. He's been ill. So he won't know anything. Nothing's stopping Jack Gorn from tweeting that the deal is dead. Jack Gorn doesn't tweet a lot. See, that's another thing people don't say. Jack Gorn puts an article out in the Daily Mail and people take the snippets from the article and that's what Jack does and goes into his Twitter. Does no one understand how this game works? Seriously. Jack Gorn writes an article for the Daily Mail in the Athletics and it goes on and he takes snippets from it into his Twitter. Oh dear. Big up. Rowento 1981. So we know who the board member is, why we're keeping the player does not want to be here. When has he said he doesn't want to be here? Doing a lot of guesswork at the minute. Brett. I don't know. What does Brett mean? Brett what? Brett what? Daniel Levy France should be contested in WWE Hell in the Cell. I still don't think they'd sort out the differences. I reckon Akanji goes also. Craig, I hope you're doing well. Galatasaray can have Edison, Akanji, and Gundogan and buy two, get one free. No, Gundogan. I don't think Gundogan's going anywhere. Ozzy, where are you at with this Galatasaray and wetting everyone?
As you said, Mike, it's a lot of hot air at the moment, isn't it, with all this from Galatasaray? I mean, it's been, what, 2 weeks, really? Feels like more, in all honesty, since the whole Galatasaray and Edison, and then Galatasaray coming in for Kanji. Who else is it? Gundo. I feel like there's another as well. But yeah, it just seems, for me, it feels like the Edison deal should have been done by now because the amount of time it's been dragged out. I kind of wonder if this is kind of who will blink first between Galatasaray, City, and PSG, because PSG are going to want money for Donnarumma. They're not going to want pittance. They're going to want top dollar because I think they'll look at it and go, well, whatever City get for Edison from Galatasaray, well, he's a 31-year-old. Yes, he's a top quality keeper. He's got a year left on his contract, same as Donnarumma, but Donnarumma's younger. So PSG are probably looking at this going, well, we're going to see what you're going to get for Edison, and then whatever you get for Edison, we're probably going to slap an extra, I don't know, 15, 20 mil on top because he's younger. He's currently the name. So that's kind of what I wonder, whether it's just kind of who blinks first. And for me, City are probably in the strongest position right now because we don't have to sell Edison. We can let him go on a free, which seemed to be the plan at the beginning of the transfer window. PSG have got an unsettled goalkeeper that doesn't want to be there anymore. He's put a big statement out to say, I don't want to be there anymore. I want to move on. I want to go to the Premier League. It's surprising that there's not more teams in for him, like United or Chelsea. From everything we're hearing, they're not having any contact with Donnarumma's camp, even though both of them quite clearly probably could do with a step up in that department. So it's really interesting with this whole keeper situation. And then with the other players like Akanji, Gundo, I mean, I said weeks ago that I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Gundo still leave. I mean, Pep had come out after the match and said pretty much that the squad needs trimming. And I personally think with the likes of Gundo, Akanji, Ake not getting off the bench, that seems like he's sending out a clear message to me. I mean, he said it in his conference after the game. You know, they're saying that, you know, serious talks are going to have some grown-up conversations. So I think he's saying to either one or two of those players, or all the players that are really not featuring right now, your time's up. You know, I'm moving on. It's time for you guys to move on as well. So, yeah.
There's a lot of people, they're really hanging on to this Rodrigo stuff. They're not letting it go.
Can I just ask Martin? I mean, I know that he didn't start tonight. There was rumours. I think he didn't even warm up. I don't think he actually come off the bench at all either. And he doesn't seem to be the flavour of the month at the moment. I think one of the comments earlier was that the kids were put out instead of him. Well, I think it was the Turkish international young kid and Diaz that were starting above him. So that clearly says something that he either hasn't got a future at Real Madrid, or, you know, he's unsettling behind the scenes. So maybe Xavi's making a point to prove to him that, you know, we don't want to hear all these "you're looking to leave" rumours. You know, we just haven't heard really from him that he wants to leave. All we've heard is that what Fabrizio and a few others have said, that City would like the player, but does that necessarily mean that the player's going to leave? I mean, we have to remember that he's playing for Real Madrid right now. You know, one of, if not the best club in the world. Not many players want to leave Real Madrid, and Real Madrid rarely ever want to get rid of a decent player. So it just seems really weird to me. Don't get me wrong, if he was to come in through the door and hold up a City shirt, I'm not going to complain. I'll be very happy, but it just seems that this is...
Well, for these people who are jumping on the Fabrizio train, has anyone seen Fabrizio's latest tweet? Well, we are going to open the lines in about 5 minutes, promise you. Fabrizio's latest tweet, we said what he said about what get my words out, what Xabi Alonso has said about this. I'll just share my screen just so everyone can see, because everyone's really jumping on the old Fabrizio stuff now. So I'll just share it all with you all. Xabi Alonso, Rodrigo, nothing is happening. I count on Rodrigo, of course. It's just a game. This was my decision.
I think he's been quite firm in that stance, hasn't he, with him? Like, I mean,
nothing is happening.
I haven't heard him say that, you know, Rodrigo's unsettled, or there's an option that he might move on, or even the hint of anything. It's just, I have full confidence in the player, and it just wasn't the game for him, or whatever.
Yeah, I don't. So all these people going, oh, it's not being. People are not shutting it down, but they are basically distancing themselves. But it's because it's not the answer people want. They're blocking it out.
Do you know what's quite interesting, mine, is that in the past, when we've been linked to players that, for one reason or another, that we're not going to go for, City normally shut it down. You know, a couple of seasons ago, they were talking about Neymar. coming and City turn around and we have no interest in the player whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it to a number of players that we've been linked to and gone, no, we have no interest. Move on. It's because City are not shutting this down. It's the same with Donnarumma. They're not shutting it down.
No, but the thing is, I think both could happen, but there has to be other things happening first. If they've decided they don't want to sell Savinho, well, that's the end of the Rodrigo stuff.
Yeah, but I also think it's that City are still in the strongest position because they don't have to sell Savinho. I don't think they want to particularly. I don't think the option of him leaving was even on the cards when they were looking at transfers of outgoings this summer. I think it was Savinho was expected to stay. I think it's only because Spurs have come in and said, is there an option to buy him? They've reached out, obviously, to his camp and gone, do you fancy the move to Spurs? And he's obviously said, well, all reports are saying that he's considering the move, but he's not agitating for a move out. So I think if he stays, I don't think he's going to be massively upset. So City hold all the cards right now.
Yeah. Like I said, if I was a betting man, and I'm not, if you do bet responsibly, I would probably say Donnarumma happens more than Rodrigo. I think the board have just made the decision on Savinho, and that's it. It is what it is. Now, can things change? Of course they can. Of course things can change. But it is what it is. Do you know what upsets me more is I get what people are doing, but last season, fans were crying for the young players. Let's give these youngsters a go. Let's give them a go. Let's give them a future. Well, that's lasted all of 5 minutes before the Galactico era wanted to come in the door.
I'll tell you what, though, mine. I know it's not his position, Rodrigo, but Oscar Bob at the weekend was just amazing. We're not. Us as City fans aren't just waxing lyrical about it. The opposition fans and the media are turning around and going, "Wow." Unless you, as an opposition fan, knew about Bob, if you were just seeing him for the first time, I think a lot of people were just like, hang on a minute, where's this guy come from? Because for me, he was one of the best players on the pitch at the weekend. He's such a pet player that I think Savinho is probably looking at this right now and going, do I realistically start ahead of Bob right now? Because Bob's in cracking form. From all reports that he's probably the best player in training at the moment. So he's probably looked at this and gone, I know I played a lot last season, but Bob was injured. Now I've got some competition. Do I really think I'm going to be starting a lot of games this season? Maybe not. Spurs have come in. They want me. They're going to possibly, double or triple my wage. Can you blame him in some respects looking at Spurs, for those reasons?
By the way, Foggy, thank you for the 26 months, mate. You are a legend. I know that was earlier. You, sir, are a legend for your continued support. Thank you very, very much.
I'm emotional. This is a dream come true. All these guys deserve. All these guys around here.
Elliot has a question for you. Question with Ozzy. Does he prefer Italy or Brazil?
I haven't been to either country, but one of my top destinations is to go to Brazil. So, yeah, I'd probably just lean towards Brazil.
Elliot said yes to Donna. Yes to Donna. Savio's there. It's coming to Manchester. Let's wait. Maybe he's coming to have a chat, see things. You always presume, see, Ro, and this is part of the issue why everyone has a meltdown. Because you're bigging, what you're doing is you're getting all excited again. You're thinking something's going to happen. You're thinking something's going to happen, and then it doesn't. You'll start throwing your toys out the pram. Let's relax and just wait and see. You're putting 2 and 2 and getting forward at the minute. That's all I'm saying. Let's relax. Dash, good evening. How are you? Thank you for joining us.
Hello, everyone. Ozzy, Martin.
Hello.
Hope you got
Hello.
Good evening, mate.
How are you? What do you want to talk about? Please don't say
Me.
Trump, but we'll talk about him if you want.
You know what? Yeah. Let's talk about Galatasaray and Akanji and Edison. For me, and I said on this space, and I'll say it here again. Galatasaray sticked around for 5 weeks. Yeah, full of deals. Yeah. If I offer you a PS5 here, or you offer me a PS5 for 600 quid, let's just say, and I put the offer down 400k first year, and then you're like, nah, when I say 420, 430, 440, 450, yeah, and in like 5 weeks, at some point you're gonna get pissed off. You're getting fucking pissed off at all of this, man. So my intention is to say either pay up or fuck off. Simple as. Like, we're not gonna do charity cases for them. And this is the thing. People say, yeah, pay the money. Or if they want to accept the deal actually in this scenario. Like, Man United done that a long time ago. And look at the coach that they fostered in. Ever since then, they sell on the cheap and buy for more expensive. So you don't want to do that. And I think that's what people need to understand. Now, do I think that there might be a way that Edison and Gundo might happen? Yeah, do you think so? Same with Donnarumma. But I just think right now people can't understand that the club are just now reaffirming their stance. They don't want to, what's it called, sell them on the cheap. Because like I said before, Martin, we're not a car boot sale.
I'm going to do that. I am going to do that thumbnail. I'm going to get me in the boot of a car with like a little thing. Because I do go to a few car boots Sunday mornings. Me and my other half, we do enjoy a little car boot sale. 5 in the morning, you know, wandering around other people's trash. It's always fun.
They're parroting them, mate.
Could have gone very dark there with you in the back of a boot of a car.
I get a picture of me for a thumbnail for deadline day. Manchester City's car boot sale. What a 20s. Look at that. Buy one, get 6 free. I don't know. Another question for you. How many players have we known to train at home while injured instead of training at the ground? That's to you, Ozza.
Oh, right. I mean, it's a rarity, I will admit. I mean, I can't think of many. I mean, yes, some players will train at home. I mean, they do. That a lot of players do have their own gym equipment. They have their own gym rooms. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, like those pictures were taken when City were away playing, and he was in the gym taking photographs. So, you know, he's trying to get over this injury and he's trying to get back into form. So, I mean, I think you don't really have to take much into that, if I'm honest. That's for me anyway.
Okay. I don't know, by the way, Craig Ope has put a statement out. In light of Isak's statement tonight, he's going nowhere. That's going to rumble and rumble on. All I'll say is tune into Oil Brothers tomorrow night. That's going to be a banger of a show. Banger after banger after banger after banger. That's going to be one hell of a show tomorrow night on Oil Brothers. 7:30. Can't wait. Tomorrow night, 7:30. Going to be a banger. Dark, let's smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, I know LB's live. That's why numbers are a bit low at the minute. LB's live. Stolen all the people again. Stolen everyone. Just nip into LB's chat and go, Mankway thief. Mankway thief. Joking, don't really. The Savinho Rodrigo saga is crazy. Do you know why? There's only one person made it crazy, and that is Fabrizio.
Doesn't help really if you think about it, because it's going globalized, isn't it? You know what I mean? It's like because he's using certain phrases. It's blocked off. There's still a chance. It's not off yet and all that yet, and everyone's going to a frenzy. So, listen, all I ask is just if I want
Elliot,
people,
instead of
listen,
asking questions, come on. You come on,
exactly,
Elliot,
mate.
and ask him yourself.
Elliot, come on, mate, man. Tell me those questions, man.
Do you believe Edison starting Saturday? Hope Cherky starts. The Saga is crazy and keeps, but nothing's turning on its head. What's turning on its head? What's turning on its head? What are people sat there on Fabrizio's Twitter just going refresh, 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 refresh? Get outside and touch some grass. Touch some grass. It's beautiful sunshine.
They only put any leverage, man. They only put any string to hold on.
Dash, question for you, mate. If at the end of the window, Savio's still here, are you going to be massively disappointed? Are you going to be like absolutely gutted?
That's a good question.
Regardless of Rodrigo, don't even. You know, we know he's a top player. We know his quality. Blah blah.
Yeah.
But just on Savinho,
okay.
If he leaves, are you going to be massively disappointed? Are you going to be gutted that he's still at the club?
Not really. To be fair to you, I mean, I still like Savio. I do think that with Savio and what transpired, I do think he might have a problem getting back into the. He'll be doing the pecking order. That makes sense. And I think he's got only way back up top and trust and getting the trust back from his teammates and etc. But I'm not like with Savio leaving. I'm not. Listen, if it's for Rodrigo, I'd do it. I told this so many times. I'm a bit greedy for it. That's fine. By the way, you can be a bit greedy, but it's not much of a problem for me. Now, if it was Rico Lewis, by the way, my Aussie, and he went out the door, I would have concerns about right back. But I believe in Mamouche, Harlan, Cherky, Foden, Bob. They're a good set. They ain't that bad. Look what they've done against Wolves. And we're what, second gear?
Yeah, I am starting to think Fabrizio's got like a 10% incentive deal on some of these. Has he got a sell-on clause here, Fabrizio? Because I'm being serious. Every time he does a tweet or he goes on a show, and like I said, he is generally reliable, but he's not giving you any new information. He's just all he's saying is it's still pushing, still pushing.
But Martin, you know this already, man. This man for the PR. Let's be real.
It's like when a woman goes into labour, it's like going back every day, still pushing, yeah, still pushing, yeah. You know the baby's coming, but I'm not going to put a tweet out every 3 hours to say the pushing is still continuing. There is no new information that is coming out in it.
But we all know about Fabrizio. He sold us off a long time ago.
We're all falling for it.
Exactly. It's like he's it. Like let's look at Fabrizio and the amount of money he gets.
I'm going to start doing what Fabrizio does. Seems to make shit tons of money on this. I'm going to start doing it.
You might as well, mate. You know what I mean? 100K per year. You get about 2.2 million.
Well, and Elliot loves it. Elliot's his new best mate. You Fabrizio pin tweet. This is why he charges you like 1,400 quid to come on shows.
That's his choice, by the way.
All that, did you? £1,400 guest appearance to come on shows.
The one garbage must be fucking getting caked every single day, then. If you get anyone on the show.
There is no bomber. I've just checked, Elliot. Don't lie now. Don't lie. There is no bomber. The only bomber that is on there from Fabrizio, because I'm looking at it and I can share my screen, is Xavi Alonso telling everyone, Rodrigo, nothing is happening. Oh, and understand Fenerbahce's agreed terms of West Ham, but Edson Alvarez.
Martin, you know why it's like this. He wants Donnarumma.
I know. His pin tweet. His pin tweet is just about Galatasaray sent first official bid to City for Edison. Proposal in the region of 10 million euros. City rejected. They want more. What's new?
I'm telling you,
There's
someone's
no
getting trolled.
new. Galatasaray, where they were 3 days ago. You've not offered enough, offer more. Where we at here? I'm going to start doing this for Fabrizio stuff. Fucking lucrative. August the 20th. Galatasaray still want Edison. August 21st. Galatasaray are making inroads into Edison. August the 22nd. Galatasaray are making further inroads into Edison.
Personal terms are on the cusp.
Yeah, it's like, my God, there's that much on the cusp and close, and Jesus Christ. I hope he's I won't mention it, no. That's too X-rated.
Oh yeah, don't mention it, mate. Don't
I hope
mention
his
it.
personal life's not as closer on the ropes or is getting closer and all that. My God, we're going for 7 hours. Poor man. Are you there? Yeah, I'm close. Still close. Making inroads. Jolly good. You know, fucking more inroads than a farmer. Jesus Christ. Shall we have a bet? A bet on what? I've said I think Donnarumma will happen. Don't think Rodrigo happens. And you even know Rodrigo's not going to happen. Oh, right. Look, I've had it. Here we go. Oh, Alan. Loving Robin's analysis on Donna can't kick. Jesus.
I mean, if you want a song name, just call him Donna Kebab.
We are winning the treble and Pep is signing an extension. Dash, your thoughts on the extension talk from Pep?
Listen, I won't be surprised if he wants to extend, if he's got a lease of life at the club. I do think if the same problems were to occur that he had last season, not just in the football wise, but obviously outside of it, I do think that he would think otherwise. But listen, let's see about all of this, man. Let's see how the season pans out. We don't know what's going to happen. We could lose fucking 12 games in a row and have another meltdown, and Pep might be leaving. He might win 12 games in a row anyway, and have a big celebration by Christmas. We'll see, man. We'll see. Do I want Pep to stay? Why not? If Pep leaves, no hard feelings. He give us everything he has for the past decade. Wouldn't happen since the 10th year, but yeah. Who am I to say that if he wants to go, he can go. He can't go. He can leave.
What do you think, Ozza? Are you thinking?
I mean, we've said it before with Martin that I think if Pep is happy, he said he's very happy in Manchester, likes living in Manchester. You know, for Pep, I think it's all about as long as he's happy, as long as he feels that there's a job still to do, that he's driven, still got the ambition, still getting what he wants from the club, the players, the fans, then I think City and the hierarchy will keep him for as long as they possibly can. So, but I don't think you're going to see him come out with a contract for, like Haaland, 9-10 years. It just isn't Pep. I think he'll continue to do 1 or 2 year extensions. I think that's just the way he'll go. I think he'll just want that option of, when it's time, he'll extend. Like, I think we felt that, I certainly felt that come this latest extension, I thought possibly he's going to do 2 years and then see how he feels at the end of the first year. And then if he feels, you know what, I've rebuilt the squad, I'm happy where it is, and leaves on a high, if we've won the Premier League again or the Champions League, then he can kind of go, well, I know I signed a 2 year extension, but I don't think the club are going to keep him to it if he says, you know what, club's in a good place. You've got a manager lined up to replace me, so I'm going to head off into the sunset. None of us, I think, would blame him for that because he's done everything for this club. But I hope that he does. I think, I would love for him to be, here as long as Alex Ferguson and to outdo Alex Ferguson, because I think that's the definitely the pole that everyone kind of puts him against. You know, so if he stays as long as Alex Ferguson did and then outdoes him, oh, can you imagine the meltdown? I would love to see it.
I'm loving the Reinders stuff. Loving it, DC. Absolutely love the Reinders stuff. Martin, we will have at least one Brazilian next season. One of Savinho, Rodrigo already will be here. There you go. Yeah, so we don't know. Elliot's chucking out rage bait there. Give Reinders the Ballon d'Or right now. Pep, look, relax. Hope fans understood his comments. Yeah. I have a feeling Reinders is going to get the Rodri treatment in this team and prepare for your legs for 50 plus matches, my friend. I think top players do. Chroma best. Haaland will play 50 games out of 70. Salah will play 50 games. Top players play a lot of games. Just the way it is. By the way, the lines are still open. For some weird reason, I don't know whether these others are live. We don't seem to be having. And the thing is, with the phone-ins, if people don't want to come on and say them, we'll stop doing them. Simple as. We're not going to offer phone-ins if people don't want to come on, and that's your prerogative, and I get it. But, you know, we'll change it to another idea then if people don't want to do the phone-ins. I get it. It's your channel, and if we're not liking them and you're not enjoying it, we won't do them anymore. So we'll just say, Dash, anything you want to add, mate? Before we roll?
Nothing really much except I just hope that this if you told me today, yeah, you gave me two options. Either drag out the whole window or stop it now. I'd just rather stop it now. Because it's gone out of hand. 2 weeks ago, everyone was chilled. We all knew the squad. Everyone come around the idea of what we had. We thought, okay, let's get into the season. But Donnarumma and Rodrigo, my words, that's destroyed us.
Oh, got a little bit of news on Calvin, by the way.
What, Phillips?
Didn't know he existed, mate.
Keep an eye on Girona.
Well, City actually did tweet out something today about Girona not ruling our business with City again. Further transfer operations, so won't be surprised if Calvin goes over there to Girona.
Keep an eye on Girona. Calvin Phillips.
Is that an L or a W?
Hope you're all right, mate. Right, Dash, we'll let you go. I might speak to you in a bit for you know what. Because I've got to have a chat with someone. Because I'm telling you now, has Hamza become a Newcastle fan? Has he actually become a Newcastle United fan? I need to know. Because all he's done for the past 3 hours is talked about Newcastle and tweet about Newcastle.
You know why? It's Isak. He's on his little meltdown. Genuinely, I don't know what's happening.
I'm like, what's going on here? Anyway, big up, Dash. I'll speak to you soon, mate.
I'll tell you on, mate.
Before I go, one more thing. Is it a W move or L move for Canfield for Girona?
Okay. Say that again.
Do you think it's a good move for Calvin Phillips to Girona, or is it a bad move?
I think it'd be a great move for him.
Yeah. Right then, mate. Take care.
See you later, mate.
Total Football. How you doing, mate? Good to have you back on. How the devil are you?
Gosh, it's been a while, gents. How we doing?
Yeah,
not too bad, mate. It has been a while. We've been hiding.
I'm just so delighted to have football back. Honestly, it makes you wonder how we would survive without football now. Like, it's crazy how dependent we become on it. To be fair,
I think Martin should have to step away.
I've just got to make a quick phone call. I'll be back in 1 minute.
No problem. Right, go on, Ozzy. Where are we starting?
Wherever you want, mate. This is the phone-in show. So you lead. You want to ask a question, or you got something to say? Go for it, mate.
I want to start obviously with the Wolves game. And again, I hate to be the one to point out a few negatives, but I'll go with the positives first. So, new signings, I don't really think that anyone put a foot wrong. Albeit Cherky only came on for a bit, but we saw what he was able to do. It was delightful to see Bob starting, getting a lot of minutes in there, having massive involvement. Yeah, generally from an offensive point of view, you couldn't complain. Everything just went perfectly fine. We've looked a lot more explosive, a lot more direct, far less side-to-side stuff, which is such a relief compared to last season, because that's all we could complain about. It's hard not to also point out, though, that there was moments in that game where we could have got caught out a little bit, albeit the defensive line was able to move just to get I can't remember the name, but the Wolves player that got caught offside a few times. So that was good to see that there's communication there, but nonetheless, it's something we should be a bit mindful of against the better teams, that they will also be wider to the offside trap and how we end up dealing with that.
Yeah, mate. I mean, I've not had my say on the game yet, but I kind of agree with what Pep said. Actually, is that first half I thought we were brilliant, absolutely amazing. I didn't really see too many problems. I know Wolves had moments, but there were moments and they got caught offside most of the time, like you said, with the offside trap. And I just think as long as we're playing that line where it pretty much looked really good, with the offline trap and the new system that's in place now. I mean, we haven't seen it in the new season yet, as far as I'm aware, but it's there as far as I'm aware. Teams can be caught. I would agree with Pep what he said afterwards, that I think he wasn't happy with the second half, and you can understand why. For the first 15, 20 minutes, I do think I wouldn't go as far as maybe it was looking like last season, but there were definitely moments where I just thought they didn't get to grips with the game at that moment. It seemed, and you could forgive them to feel that, it's the first game of the Premier League season. Match fitness isn't completely there. But I also liked that when it came to the substitutions, like Pep made that decision that 3 players off, 3 players on the pitch. And it was sensible, like Bernardo Silva, where Pep probably last season kept him on for too long and his legs had gone. Do you know what I mean? And rather than persisting with him, he was like, no, that's it. I'm bringing on fresh midfield. And yeah, I was really happy to see. So I know, as much as there are some negatives, and we always say, especially on the show, that we will call Pep out or call players out when there's constructive criticism, and that's probably one of the constructive things for me, is that they're just not. It was probably the best performance out of all the top sides last weekend. If that's the way I look at it, is I think we've put down a bit of a marker, because most of the media and other fan channels would basically turn around going, can't really see City really being in the title race this season. And I think we all said, actually, I don't think that's quite true. I think actually, we are going to be up there competing. So,
see, before the season, before the first game even kicked off, I recall, I think as One Footballer put something up about where it's comparing the front line for every team. Well, I said every team, but the top 3 teams that are competing for the title. And you looked at City's on paper and thought, gosh, that probably is the best of the lot if you compare to Arsenal and Liverpool's front 3. And so when this whole thing came out, this whole narrative that, City won't be in there, I found that quite laughable. That how can you not look at us, our attack, our offence, both in the front 3 positions, but also across the midfield, that how can you not at least say that we're going to be in contention? I found it quite amusing, but now we've had that result, suddenly everyone's saying that we are. But I think for me, other than the result, which is obviously the ultimate positive, is the fact that Pep, and it goes back to what you said earlier about substitute, it seemed like he trusts a lot more of his players and a lot more of the squad than he did last season. And he's taking the chance, and he's starting Nico, which we were worried that Nico's out the window, out the door this window because of all the stories that are going around. He starts him. He had the courage to make substitution at the right time and bring on like the likes of Turkey and whatever, and think, you know what, okay, it might be his first game, but let's give him a shot, and it paid dividends, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I know there was a lot of worries about Nico, but for me, I just thought at the end of the day, like playing that position and taking over Rodri is just immense, because for me, it's the most important position on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? To take over Rodri's role, we saw it when Rodri first came in and took over Fernandinho. Do you know what I mean? So I think for me, it was because he came in January. It was because, you know, he was in and out a little bit, but he still played. And I just think, you know, you saw after the game, Pep was immediately in his ear and going, you know, whatever Pep was saying to him, you know, about marking or, you know, watching around him. And, you know, that's what Pep is going to do. He's going to constantly be, you know, pulling him aside and going, I want to improve you. Listen to what I'm saying. And I do think he's got a bright future if he carries on the way he is. Because for me, I didn't think he put a foot wrong at the weekend. I thought he was really good.
Yeah, and he's only had 6 months. And if I'm not mistaken, Rodri took a full season to settle. Like, his first season was horrendous. And I mean, look, to no fault of his own, let's be frank here. The toughest league to play that sixth position in is the Premier League, because of the intensity, because of the end-to-end action. It is the toughest league to read, and that in itself takes at least a season, if not longer. And that's why you've seen other technical players like the likes of Calvin Phillips and, you know, probably others before him, where it's a struggle to really get to grips with that role, because it's the league is just at such a fast pace that trying to get that nailed down is tough as it is. But so far from Nico, especially this season, it is looking promising. And as long as like you said, as long as he continues to take the instruction on board from Pep, and he's sort of learning from watching Rodri as well in training, you can see it. You can see him becoming, you know, real long-term option in that role.
You've got to remember with Rodri is that he's coming back from a serious injury, and he's going to have niggles, especially for the first 6 months. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be probably a little bit in and out. So Nico is going to have to play probably more games than maybe some people may be comfortable with, or, you know, think he's not possibly ready for. But this is his time to prove that. Do you know what I mean? While Rodri's still recovering, you know, it gives him the chance to dip in and dip out, you know, and learn and continue his development. So, yeah, I don't have any concerns right now about it.
And I do want to add on one other thing with Nico, is that we know he can play at 6 and the 8. That's quite useful when we need to give Rodri a break, but it's also useful when Reinders is a bit burnt out and we need to give him a rest. All of a sudden, you've got Nico there who could cover both, which that's something we've not had. We definitely didn't have it last season, where we could switch players around in position and have a different double pivot for different games, I suppose. So we've got some really good options. I'm definitely excited about moving forward. But I also wanted to ask you both, this recent news that came out about Savinho going and the whole Rodrigo thing, has this thrown us off what we really need for the squad, which is the right back, or like a player that could play in the right back position as well as centre back, or whatever?
I mean, listen, and with the whole thing with the right back, for me, is I've said for quite a while now, I've said it for months, that my number one target, and it seemed like City's number one target, was Livramento. It feels and it's looking like that deal isn't going to happen this summer. Okay, so I think we have to like just get on board with that. It's not going to happen. And I think from City's point of view is they're not going to sign a right back as a stopgap measure or the wrong target. If they want Livramento, which I think, you know, all I think they do, I think they'll look at next summer. I think with the current way Newcastle are, I think if they don't have a good season, I think there's going to be more of their players agitating for a move out. Do you know what I mean? I think they haven't got a director of football. It's looking a bit of a mess at the moment for Newcastle. And I know it's not what Newcastle fans want to hear, but it just does. And I think if it's looking a mess from the outside, can you imagine how it looks on the inside for the players and the manager? Do you know what I mean? So I don't think City took their eye off the target, but you have to remember, how many seasons has it been since we didn't have an actual left back? The problem has now switched to the right back. And it's not like that stopped us from winning a league. It didn't stop us from winning, the Champions League. It didn't stop us from winning the FA Cup. It didn't stop us from winning the treble. Do you know what I mean? So for me, I think we can still go on and win titles without an actual right back, because we have got players that can step into that position. They may not be 100% the right players, but the players that we've got, we can definitely do a job. So I don't have as concerns about that. I think the whole thing with Rodrigo is there's no, for me, having an extra goal scorer in your arsenal. I mean, why wouldn't you want that? He's a proven player. He's done it at the top level. Why would you not want somebody else to come in and, bag a few more goals or more assists? So, yeah, it's understandable why we're linked to him. But if he doesn't come, we've still got an amazing squad. Join, like you said, we've got Bob, we've got Foden, we've got Cherky, we've got Bernardo Silva who can play out there as well. We've got Savinho, we've got Doc. Do you know what I mean? We've got Haaland, the best striker in the world. I mean, it's not like we're short, is it, really, of goals and assists on paper? So...
Pletty Gold has just tweeted out, no agreement yet between Galatasaray and City for Edison, with both clubs far apart in valuations. Galatasaray made an official €20 million bid for add-ons for Diego Costa. See that again? That's just regurgitated from yesterday.
How are you both on this whole Donnarumma thing? Like, is it something you want?
I'm fine with it. I have concerns on Trafford, of course. It is what it is. Guillaume Balaguer's tweeted as well earlier on about Rodrigo. But yeah, many are still jumping on that bandwagon. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I've no problem with Donnarumma if it happens. I do think there'll be a solution with Edison at some point. I don't think Rodrigo happens.
No. But with what you just said there, Martin, regarding Trafford, I'm of the same opinion where I was quite excited when they signed him. I was one of the fans. I was like, actually, I'd quite like the idea of us taking a chance on him, especially somebody that's come from our academy. He's going to have that passion. He's going to have that sort of what we call it now, sort of die hard within himself. Like the extra mile, he'll go the extra mile to ensure he can do it best for the team, kind of thing. And plus, Pep rarely takes a chance on someone raw and say, right, okay, I'm going to make you one of my starters or whatever else. So I was quite looking forward to the fact that Trafford may be our number one this season. Donnarumma coming in, obviously, on the wages he probably ended up being on, I very much doubt he's going to come to sit on the bench, is he really? He's going to pretty much take the number one spot. And it's one of those where if Edison stayed, you think that, okay, Trafford may have to battle it out this season, but then come next season, he automatically takes over the number one spot. But Donnarumma's in his prime himself now. So if he comes in, when does Trafford get his breakthrough? That's the worrying thing here.
Yeah. Sadly, I think you've seen, and I'm going to get killed for this, and we do need to move on in a minute, so I do appreciate people's patience. I'm going to say, I think we've noticed that, how do I put it? I don't think fans are attached to players anymore. Don't think their background and where they're from and their journey matters anymore. People are quite happily, people are getting visually angry over Savinho staying and not buying Rodrigo. This is a young lad who's been here one season, got 11 assists. Yeah, his finishing needs improving. And we're quite happy to ditch him out the door for a so-called Galactico that we've not even officially made a bid for. And I think that's the sad part for me. I don't think there is any loyalty anymore in football by some, and I will use the word some. I think it's just 2025 football now. And don't get me wrong, the same will happen if this was someone on the right wing. Would people be craving Oscar Bob as much? What this tells me is Oscar Bob's, can be shifted out if a superstar's name appears. That's what's sad with me. That's what's sad.
It's that, and is how much people will also switch their opinion when it's, for example, let's say we did sell Savinho and he goes and kills it at Spurs. Oh, we shouldn't have sold him. Oh, what we done? Not Cole Palmer 2.0.
And we've been doing this before. Everyone was happy to get rid of Cole Palmer because Jeremy Doku came in. Now, a lot of people want to sell Jeremy Doku and bring Cole Palmer back. Football don't work like that. Once they are gone, they are gone. Unless you got a buyback, you're not bringing them back. But we brought James Trafford back with a buyback, and now people want him back relegated back to the bench. That's the part that sits uneasy with me.
Yeah.
There's no loyalty anymore in football, from fans, from players, from everyone. There's no loyalty anymore.
Has there ever been really, Mark, if we're being...
Yeah, I think there was, yeah.
I think maybe if you go back many, many years, but I mean, for me, for as long as I've been watching football, this is kind of always, when you've got players who want to go from a club, some players will, do anything they can to get out the door. I mean, I thought it was quite interesting. Earlier on, I saw Jamie O'Hara was talking about Isak, and he was saying that it's, Newcastle should accept that, he should go. They're holding him to ransom. I was thinking, were you saying this when City came in for Kane? I don't remember you saying that, mate. Like, you were pretty much just like, if they cough up the money Spurs want, which I think was about 160 mil at the time, so not far off what Newcastle are wanting for Isak. It's strange you're not saying, well, hang on a minute, he's on a 3-year contract. If Liverpool want him, then they should be coughing up the money. Strange that, isn't it, really? When it's not a Spurs player, he comes out and says rubbish like that. So I just think at the end of the day, I don't think a lot has changed. I think, yes, players it looks like they have more power than they used to, but I also think it comes down to the club. I mean, I think when you are the likes of Real Madrid, United of old, Liverpool, us, Bayern Munich, those type of clubs can turn around to a player and go, if you don't come with the right, transfer that we want, then you're not going anywhere. And we've done that. We did that with Bernardo Silva. It was like other clubs were coming in for him, and they were like lowballing, and it was like, no, you want him, you cough up the money we want, otherwise he stays, and he stayed ever since. So I do think it just depends on the club. And I think, in all fairness, if Newcastle had a sporting director, if they looked like they had a bit better of a transfer window, this may not be happening. Do you know what I mean? So
it's like walking into JD Sports and saying, okay, I like that tracksuit, but guess what? I don't want to pay 100 quid for it. I'm sorry, it's only worth 60 quid to me. Like, they'll take to get the FL, they'll let the security guard take, I suppose, anyway, so one of those ways, if you want the top players, you want someone's leading goal scorer, and they're telling you, well, yeah, you're going to have to pay X amount. And we're talking about Newcastle, we're not talking about a team at the bottom half of the table or fighting relegation. Newcastle in the Champions League themselves, they've got their own ambitions. They've got no reason to sell. So if you want him, just like you've done with all the other players you've signed, you're going to have to pay up.
And the problem is that if Newcastle, for me, if they don't get the money they want and they let Isak go for 100 million, 110 million, I think they look weak. And any player in that changing room they've currently got will turn around and go, well, if they're willing to do it with Isak, they're willing to do it with me. Or the next big player they sign comes to the door, and then he wants to move. Well, you let Isak go because he really wanted to go. I'll pull the same stunt. You go down that road. It's the old saying, isn't it? If you negotiate with terrorists, you just can't. And I'm not calling him a terrorist, but I'm just saying, you can't negotiate like this. You can't be held at ransom by a player who's acting like this. If he was still training but wasn't playing, that'd be one thing. If he was still behind the scenes doing all the right things, but saying, listen to Newcastle, listen, I want to go. Can we find a compromise here? Newcastle might be like, okay, you're not happy. We don't want to keep an unhappy player, just like we've done in the past, where we've had players who don't want to be here. They want to go somewhere else. We'll find a solution as long as we come to a good arrangement. Do you know what I mean? So,
is that the example you gave earlier? Sorry, I'll try and hurry up with this one. Mine, sorry. That with Bernardo, he's wanted to go for the last 2-3 summers, but have you seen a drop in his performance or him throwing a strop and saying I ain't training? He turned back up after pre-season, and he's just cracked on with it. And you wouldn't even think that's a player that wants to leave. That's if anything, I'm sure it makes Newcastle feel like, you know what, we're gonna stand out going even more here, because if you'd been respectful and professional about it, perhaps we would have considered it, but you basically taken us for a ride.
Yeah, well, anyway, we're gonna have to move on because AK and Dashmash have been waiting very patiently backstage. But big up, we'll speak to you soon, mate. Always welcome.
Take care.
Mate.
Appreciate it, mate. Take care.
Good night. Bye.
Some great points there from Total Football Talk. Give him a big up. We'll bring in AK now. AK, good evening. Thank you for your patience, mate.
Yes.
So go on, what do you want to make of all this? Are you one of these? Sell everyone and we'll buy all the Galacticos? Where you at?
First of all, F Madrid, F the Galacticos, yeah, F them lot. You are basically making your best right winger, yeah, your loyal servant, rot on the bench with no minutes. I'm telling you, Martin, right now, bring in Rodrigo. Bring in Rodrigo now. Man's been waiting patiently to join us. Let him come. What's the
how's he
wait?
going to come, mate? Well, how is he going to get through the door? We can't sign any players right now, mate. Savinho has to leave before we can sign someone like Rodrigo.
Yeah. That's a bit of a bummer, though, Ozzy. I can't lie, mate. But look, if this, I mean, look, I'm not saying the Savio deal is completely dead. I think it's still there. I think it's still on, though. It's just that that egghead Levy is just making it tougher and tougher. I mean, cough up the money. What's your problem?
Say you don't want to sell.
And I think if, let's just say for argument's sake, that City do feel that they can let Savinho go, they're not going to sell him for less than they value him at. So, and we all know dealing with Spurs, dealing with Daniel Levy is a nightmare. And this is one that could go on all the way into the window. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think City are going to want that, in all honesty. It's just, we know that they have an interest in Savinho, but at the moment they haven't coughed up the money that City want. So unless Spurs cough up the money, he's not going anywhere. Which means Rodrigo, it won't come.
No, like I said, I get people allowed to dream, but the trouble is, Steve, and this is not at you, this is just in general. We bitched and moaned about Cole Palmer going out the door for Jeremy Doku. Now people want to, we shouldn't have sold Cole Palmer. We should have not bought Jeremy Doku. Well, what happens in a year's time if Savinho goes to Spurs and he's amazing? You can't get him back. There's no, we shouldn't have sold him. If we're only giving players 12 months because something better's come down the escalator, it doesn't sit right with me a little bit.
Do you think
sit right with me?
This is to both of you and to the chat in general. Do people know that Vinicius Junior's numbers when he first came into Real Madrid? Do they know how many goals and assists he got his first seasons? Because I can guarantee you, I know the answer. There weren't many. So after his first season, Real Madrid have just said, "Listen, mate, you're not banging in the goals. You're not banging in the assists. We're getting rid of you. Off your pop." Do people
I'm not
think that
saying,
they
I'm
should have
not
done
saying
that?
people can't dream Ozzy or not have the dream of Rodrigo, but I think people have fallen in love with the dream of Rodrigo.
Yeah,
It's
but
the dream of Rodrigo people have fallen in love with here.
But I'm also trying to make a point as well, Martin, that Savinho's had one season with us. Now, yes, he didn't get many goals and assists, but did he look quality at times? Yes.
At times,
Was
yes,
he
I'll
yes?
agree with that. Yeah, Ozzy. Ozzy. I actually agree with that. I mean, like in certain games, I agree that he looked quality. Yeah, but my only drawback of him is he needs to work on his finishing, man. I can't lie. He needs to work on his finishing.
But he's 21. He was 20 when he joined us.
Rodrigo wasn't amazing when he was 21.
No
So that's what I think. The point is: are we going to go down the young road? Or are we going to go down the Glasgow road? Both don't fit. I think that's what it is to me. Both aren't fitting. Because here's my worry, Ozzy. Are we gonna belt Oscar Bob out the door if he doesn't score this season? How many's Oscar Bob got to score to be kept safe from everyone?
Yeah. But I mean, I've just brought the stats up now, and these are free for anyone to go and look up. For the first 3 seasons, Vinicius Jr., for his first season, he got 4 goals, 8 assists. Second season, 5 goals, 3 assists. Third season after that, 6 goals, 4 assists. It wasn't till his 4th season with Real Madrid is when he got 22 goals and 16 assists, and then he's gone on to have the career he's had so far. Do you know what I mean? So you've really got to look at this and go, when you're looking at a young, raw talent, they need time. Savinho's had 1 season with us. And before that, he was coming from Toulouse and he had a really good 1 season at Girona. He's young, he's talented. For me, if he stays, I'm not going to be upset. I'm going to be happy, and I want to see him continue to flourish because he is definitely a quality player.
He's top quality player, Ozzy. I am not dissing Savinho nor Doku. I mean, both of them are quality, but then Doku has had 3 seasons already. Yeah, Doku has had 3 seasons already, and in his first couple of months when he joined us, he looked like an actual baller with the way he was playing. 1v1s, finding the gap in the net, scoring. I mean, putting it top bins. He was doing all that, but kind of feel bad for him though. Like since after that injury, he never looked the same.
I'm not sure I 100% agree with that, mate. I think his first season looked quality, but didn't do a massive amount. But we don't always expect that from players in their first season. It's rare that happens. Second season for me, I look at his second season. I look at most of the squad. No one performed well in that season, really. Everyone had problems. So I give him a slight pass. I think yes, he could have obviously done better, but this is the season where I'll judge him a lot more, and I'm not going to judge him after 1 game. I really am not. I think he's got quality. There's no denying his quality. I agree that he's finishing and his assists have got to be more, but let's give him the season. After the season, I will give my full kind of judgment then. But for the moment, we know his quality. He just needs the time and the space. And he needed the squad around him as well. The squad wasn't around him last season. The squad wasn't anywhere last season, let's be honest, for the big part of it when we needed the squad. So, judge him this season. Let's see what he does.
yeah, let's see what he does. Ozzy is what I feel, and oh yeah, I was also following up on. I was also following up on this Isak drama. Oh my god! Look, I don't get it with Isak. I mean, why are you dissing your most loyal fans who have been behind you since day one, ever since you've stepped foot into the club, and now you are going ahead and doing this, releasing some disgraceful statement. I don't get it, Ozzy. I mean, I'm telling you, Ozzy, I'm telling you, if it was if it was one of our players who would have done that, I'm telling you, he would have been straight out the door. Contract ripped. Bye bye. See ya.
But we have seen it, mate. We saw it at the likes of Cancelo. Do you know what I mean? Where, you know, he had that supposed bust up with Pep, and City just went, that's it, you're gone, and they got rid of him. Now, this is a bit different with the exact situation, but I just think it comes down to the club and the way the club is managed. Because right now, it feels that no one's really making the decisions behind the scenes for Newcastle. It seems that it's a bit rudderless. They don't fully know whether they want to sell him, whether they want to keep him, whether they want to make a stance. And right now, he's actually just doing everything he can because he feels that he's in a position of strength, because he wants out. He knows Liverpool want him. And he feels that if he continues the way he's going, he'll get his move. And he might. You know, Newcastle might just relent to go, that's it. We don't want this. And they sell him. I think that'd be a mistake in the position they are in right now, as I said before.
Yeah. I get it. Again, can I play devil's advocate here?
Of course you can.
The reason I think so many City fans and Arsenal fans are all getting on this train, you know why? They're scared of Isak going to Liverpool. If Isak was going to Real Madrid, I don't think everyone would be on this hype train.
No,
It's
they
the
wouldn't.
Liverpool. Nothing to do with Newcastle. This I'm going to talk about this with Baz tomorrow on Oil Brothers. I don't think this is to do with Newcastle. This is to do with his destination, why everyone's getting all high and mighty and on the moral high hill here. They're scared of him going to Liverpool.
I'd be the same with any player in this position.
Yeah.
I
Because
mean,
no one's talking about Vissa. I don't hear City and Liverpool fans and Arsenal fans and everyone else doing this over Vissa. They're doing it over Isak, though. No one's doing it on Vissa.
Oh, yes. Spot on, Martin. Thank God you brought up Vissa's name.
They're scared of Isak fucking off to Liverpool. That's what this is about. This is jack shit to do with Newcastle, and we love Newcastle, and Newcastle are our second team, and we love Newcastle. Now, to do with Newcastle, legs, this is the destination. If he was going to Real Madrid, everyone would be like, yeah, get on with it. I am seeing rival shows, not just City. I have seen Villa. I have seen everyone's doing shows on this because he's going to Liverpool. Tell me I'm wrong, because I don't see the shows on Vissa.
But again, it's the quality of player, isn't it, and the opposition that he's going to.
It's fair.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I would personally say that yes. Does he make them look stronger? Yeah. But I look at Liverpool at the moment. I think they are making a lot of changes. Okay. They've got rid of some of their players that have been there for a while, like Diaz, who I think was a quality player. I don't think he was like up there as world class, but he was definitely a quality player for them. And I think they've got rid of some quality players, and they're bringing a load of new players. And it's like, are all these players going to gel in one season? You know what I mean? He's Slot the real deal in respects of, for me, last season he was playing with a Klopp side. Now he's brought in some of his own players. Now this is where he's going to be tested. This is where we're going to see whether he actually is the manager that he was last season. Because let's be honest, us, Arsenal, dropped off. You know, and I'm not taking anything away from Liverpool. You know, they deserve to win the title, but now this is where he's actually going to be tested, because these are some of his own signings that he's doing. This is his, you know, his own mentality. This is his own squad that he's putting together and putting a, you know, tactical mastermind together for his squad. Is he going to pull it off? I have my doubts. I do. I think Liverpool are very susceptible at the back. You only have to look at their game at the weekend. You know, he took off both their fullbacks because he wasn't confident in them enough to keep even one of them on.
No, I don't get that, Jose. I think with me though, Vissar didn't go to training. Same as Isak. He has deleted all social media presence of Brentford off his social media. Go on to Vissar's social media. It's just a little black dot. There's nothing there anymore. But I don't see everyone doing emergency streams on Vissar. This is what I'm finding so ironic about this.
Oh my god!
But no offense to him though, he's not Isak, is he? He's not a top quality striker. He's a good striker, but it's not like Real Madrid going to come in for him.
So it's not the moral high ground anymore. It's the name and the size of the name we're doing it on.
And the price tag.
That's what. So it's jack shit to do with the moral high ground then. That's what I'm finding funny about this. Honestly, I thought I was dreaming. I saw City fans going on Newcastle shows, not to do like what we do. You know, Oil Brothers, you talk about me and Baz, us and Baz have a relationship. Just randomly going on to talk Isak. I went, why? Why? Why are you not talking Vissar? Why are you not talking? What? It's crazy. I just find it so. Do you know what it is? I'll be honest. I find it disingenuous. I do find it disingenuous. It's the fear of him going to Liverpool. If he was going to Manchester City, would any City fan be on a Newcastle stream going, yeah, bad boy, this is that, you know. Bad boy him, you know. Shouldn't be doing this. If he was coming to Manchester City, if Rodrigo goes on strike tomorrow at Real Madrid, every City fan's going, yeah, go on, Rodrigo. You want to come to City, my lad.
But I don't see Liverpool fans doing the same, though, Mike. I don't see them turning around and going,
no, they won't.
His attitude is disgusting. We don't want him. He walks
I
in the
mean,
door.
everyone is looking after their own thing and they're looking after their own interests.
Of course they
That's
are.
what I'm saying.
Human beings work.
Yeah, it's their own interest. Nature. So everyone's going, yeah, Newcastle, ban him. Don't let him move. Do not let him move. Keep him there forever. Yeah, I bet you do, because you don't want him to go to Liverpool.
No, but I actually am saying that, Martin, as in, I'm saying from the point of view that if Newcastle want to be at the top, you know, if they want to be winning the Premier League and the Champions League, like, you know, they need to be holding firm.
They're miles off it.
I know they're miles off it, Martin. But what I'm saying is that you start, you know, saying that, you know, he can go for a low ball offer and let him get away with his behaviour. You're going to have it with your current, you know, stars you've got, and you're going to have it with future stars.
No, I'm not exactly. No, I'm not saying you don't want it to happen. I'm just saying it's the way people are saying he's wrong. It's the moral. He's so immorally wrong. It's nothing to do with that. I get Newcastle fans being angry.
We would be if it was.
Yeah, if this was Haaland, I get it. But
Ozzy, like I said, Ozzy, if it was one of our players would have done that, our fan base would erupt like a flipping volcano.
That's great point, Trent. I didn't see Newcastle fans and City fans and Villa fans doing Trent Alexander-Arnold streams. That's all I'm saying. Look after your own. You look after my own, and I'll look after you. That's what this is. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. And that's what people have got to start realizing football is. Just don't come at me with the morality argument. Don't chuck me the morale argument and what's right and wrong. Just say I don't want him to go Liverpool. And that's fine. It's fine, not a problem. Just don't Billy bullshit me on it's some morality thing that we're travelling on here and old footballers are naughty
Exactly,
boys.
Martin.
It's about money. It's about his destination. Hey, there's no friends. Exactly. There are no, as Pep said, there are no friends or enemies, just interest. That is the best line Pep's ever said. Anyway, AK, big up, mate. Great having you on.
Oh yeah, before I go, Martin.
mate.
Martin, I apologize. Before I leave, I'm gonna say this with chest. I do think we have hope of winning the league. I do. I have a strange feeling that we are gonna do it, and I hope we do it. Yeah, because I don't want these rival fans. I mean, because you know why? I want these deluded, sick rival fans crying, "Ooh, oil club cheats 115." I want that back. They've been writing us off for one bad season, Ozzy. They've been writing us off for one season. Yeah, time to hit back.
Indeed, mate. Indeed, they have written us off at their own peril. So, as we used to say, watch out for that blue shark behind you.
Watch out for the blue sharks. We're coming.
We're coming back for the title.
Oh, and yes, smash up the likes, people. Smash up the likes and
big up,
subscribe
Paul.
to the
Thank you,
Mancunian way, people. Top show. Yeah? Top people in here. Hey, get subbing, yeah, you frauds. Whether you're Pep out and you Pep outers, yes, subscribe and smash the bloody likes.
Thanks, mate. We appreciate that. Thanks
Big
for
up,
coming
mate.
on.
Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Right, we're going to bring in Dash Smash now. Final call of the evening. How are you doing, mate? Sorry for the delay. How are you? Hope you are well.
Yeah,
You're not going to give me
Martin.
the morality thing now. You're not going to come in and give me the morality talk here now. Please don't use that, the morality talk.
No morality talk, but I just want to say big up AK. Like he's always so entertaining whenever he comes. Yeah. So, and I like on just short bit on my bit on Isak. Like I think like people are making way out like making a very big deal how it should be. Like okay, Isak wants to leave. Newcastle doesn't want to sell him. Liverpool is not giving the money they want. Like everyone is not doing what they should be doing. Like Isak, like the way of protest or the way of not coming to the training, I think it's a bit over the top. I think Newcastle saying that they don't want to sell is over the top. Liverpool not giving the money they should be giving is over the top. So I think it's just the situation. No one is budging. I would just say one small thing. In the last 5-6 years, we have seen many transfers which have delayed for a year because the club didn't want to sell. Like Kane didn't come to City, he went to Bayern in a year. Mbappe didn't go to Real Madrid, stayed at PSG for a year, then went to Real Madrid the next year. So there's a huge possibility that at the end, Isak stays at Newcastle for one more year and goes to okay Liverpool. If not Liverpool, he can go to Barcelona next year. They would be looking for a new striker or somewhere else. So I think Isak is making things difficult for himself by making such statements, which he should not do. Okay, you want to leave the club. It's a tricky situation, but in worst case scenario, he can stay one more year and go next year. So like that's my point on this.
Yeah. I mean, I'll ask Baz tomorrow. I'll ask Baz tomorrow about it because by the way,
like I just read the statement when you guys were discussing. I hadn't read the statement, and it's a bad statement in my opinion. He shouldn't have given that statement. Now I think he will definitely leave Newcastle. earlier I thought there's a situation that he might stay for one more year and go next year, but now I actually think that he should go.
I don't
And
think he'll
if
stay.
Well,
I think he could
Newcastle
stay.
have just put out a statement.
Yeah, he's not going
Newcastle.
anywhere in their eyes.
No.
By the way, I've got to pump this out. Oil Brothers, episode 2 tomorrow. 3 Black and White Eyes. Won't be on here. We'll be on 3 Black and White Eyes at 7:30. Jesus, we're going to talk from Akanji to Rodrigo to Isak. This is going to be a fun show. Like I said, we're not doing it as a one-off. It's a weekly show every year now where we'll talk about it. Alternate channels. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just see. It makes a difference talking about the old 115. Sure, that'll come up. We'll have a chat with them, our rivals, about the 115. Oh, look, that's a Spurs shirt in the corner. So, yeah, that'll be fun. Outdoor Benji, thank you very much for the kind £5, mate. Appreciate that. Keep the show going. Big up, mate. Appreciate that. Just so much for your continued support. Dash Smash, I'm going to ask you a different question. Akanji, where you at? Because we're going to talk about that more on Thursday, but I think he's really under the radar by a few. That Manu.
Like I personally like Akanji. Like last year wasn't great, but I like as a player, I like him. He's a very versatile player. He can play right back, center back, and he has been good for us overall. Like apart from last year, he has been good for us. And if he stays, like I don't really mind. But considering the amount of players we have now, I like especially if we want to give minutes to Kusanov as well and Rico if he plays in the right back position as well, then I would say it's better if at least one player leaves. And if one leaves, it would be Akanji. So like if he end up staying, it's fine with me. But I think one player has to leave just for the numbers. So he's in the pecking order of that.
Do you know what did it for me with Akanji? Never got on the bench on Saturday, even though apparently it was Pep's going to play all his boys. He's going to play all his besties. Gundo, Akanji never got on the pitch.
I was just like I was thinking about Gundo in that sense because I thought that he would bring him on, and when he didn't bring Gundo on at all, then I was like, the situation is changing. You know, when even within the City fans there was debate that if Gundogan, Bernardo, Kovacic, Akanji, everyone is here, Pep will still play those players above all the new signings. I think the match showed that Pep will play the new signings, will play the youngsters more, especially when he bought Nico O'Reilly in before more senior players. I think that was the point when I thought, okay, Pep will play more youngsters and more new players this season, and which is a good sign though. But considering Foden and Rodri both were injured and out of the team, I think I think the situation would be very different when they both are back. So let's see how it goes. But in terms of the numbers, we have very good numbers. The squad depth right now looks very nice. And did you notice how rivals thoughts have changed just after one game? Like when City, like the match was great by City, like winning 4-0, have suddenly changed the thoughts of so many people. Like I remember going like seeing different shows and everyone at least had us third and many of them had us at least fourth. And suddenly after one game we are coming second or we are challenging for the league again. So it has all changed in one game.
Yeah, definitely has, mate. Yeah, just picking up on that point. I think if come beginning of October, we've come through all those difficult kind of fixtures, and we're still at the top or round about that. I think that's when people will be like, "Oh, I might need to change my predictions here." Do you know what I mean? Because if we start, and I think we do need to start strong. I do think it does feel that City, Pep, the players, the coaches are looking at this and going, we need to start strong. We need to make sure that we're up there. You know, we don't want to start off slow like we have like most seasons. We want to make sure that we need to be in there, you know, competing straight away. So I think if we are where we are now in October, I think that's going to send alarm bells for the rest of the league.
And
More
I,
so.
I think, yeah, and I think we will be there. I think because in match against Wolves, like the players looked very fresh and determined this year, and like especially noticing Haaland. Like Haaland was very active in that match, and he wanted to get more goals. Like last year, it seemed like Haaland wasn't happy enough, and he wasn't like he was getting chances, he was trying, but it sometimes felt that he wasn't trying his 100%. Sometimes he was very, you know, very calm about things. He wasn't proactive about getting on the score sheet. So this match, Haaland seemed very active, he seemed more involved, and for him as well, having new players which are passing him the ball, creating chances for him, like it's great for him and also for the team overall. So I would say we would be there at least by October. In my opinion, it's just about by the time we reach January. If we are at our best form, like we usually are when we go for titles, I think then it would be like best case scenario for us, and we we can go for the league, we can go for other competitions as well. But it's just about if we can maintain that level post October November period when a lot of fixtures come in all together, and
Mm.
how the team is gelling, especially like everyone is excited about Turkey right now, but when Turkey's there, when Foden comes back, like right now we don't know how those two will play together. If like obviously in my opinion, I think one will play and one will be on the bench, and other one would come off the bench. So like what will happen there, we still are not 100% sure about our transfer window, if Rodrigo will come or not. I think now he won't come, and we will keep Savinho. And if we keep Savinho again, who will be in the right wing position, if Foden or Cherky would be playing on the right wing, or they would be just on the bench and playing one at a time. So there are so many questions still there. And okay, Wolves game was great, but let's see how Pep decides to go this season. So I think we still need to figure a lot of things this season. Let's see.
Yeah. And I think the whole thing with the Kanji is that, I mean, I think, you know, you look at last season, yeah, it wasn't great, but, you know, he definitely was playing through an injury. You know, again, as we said before, all the squad weren't good. But I think we have to remember, you know, what we paid for him and what he did.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, when he came in, you know, one of the, you know, was part of the treble team. Do you know what I mean? Part of the four-peat team. So he's not a player that we need to disrespect, you know. And if he goes, you know, I will be sad to see him go in all honesty because I think he's a good quality player to have in the squad. The problem is we've got 6 centre backs. They're not all going to play, and I think with Pep not even starting him and not bringing him off the bench, I think that was Pep's message really, and you know, saying, you know, thank you, but it's time for you to move on. You know, I've got
Yeah.
other players, I've got younger players, I've got new kids that I want to see. They're the future. You know,
Yeah, and especially considering we didn't have Guardiola at all in this match. And if Guardiola is fit, he's either playing or he's definitely on the bench. Like there's no way he's not on the bench if he's not starting. In my opinion, he should start. And like like it sounds bad, but John Stones being fit is a like is a positive and a negative at the same time, because like this year, if he stays fit, he will play. But if he plays, either Diaz won't play, or Guardiola won't play, or Kusunov will not get the minutes he should get this year, just so that he can get established in our team and play for us like for years to come. So, like,
you know what,
because
Darmash, I slightly worry about is just that because we say we have to really, you have to have two central defenders that are partnership moving forward. Do you know what I mean? You need a solid back partnership to win a league, really. My slight worry is kind of what you were saying there. I slightly worry about if Stones stays fit for a period but then gets injured. Then you've got to bring in the likes of Guardiola in to replace him. And if he's not been had a lot of games and you've had Diaz and Stones play most of the games for a while, it's going to take him time to catch up, and it's going to get that partnership between Diaz and Guardiola is going to take a little bit of time. And it could be during a period where we need a solid back two, because we're playing, a challenge as the league. You know what I mean? So that's a slight worry I have, is that Stones being fit is great, but we know his fitness. He plays more than 3 games. All of a sudden, he's injured, and then we're like,
He's definitely not staying fit the whole season. So
yeah.
And
I mean,
and
I'd love it, but I just don't
yeah.
see it. Sadly.
And we haven't even mentioned Ake till now. Like, I really like Ake as well, and we haven't mentioned him at all. Like, and let's say if Guardiola is not playing centre back this season, let's say John Stones is fit for most of the season, then Guardiola will again rotate at the left back when Ait Nouri, either if he's injured sometime or if he wants to get a rest, or if the situation according to the match, Pep prefers to play Guardiola on the left again instead of Ait Nouri, then again Guardiola will be moved to the left back, because I don't think Nico O'Reilly will be playing a lot of left back position this season. I think as Pep played O'Reilly in the midfield in the Wolves game as a substitute, I think this season he will play in the cup matches, or he'll come off the bench in the midfield just to give some rest to the main players. So I think Guardiola can again play a lot of left back position this season, considering John Stones stays fit, Ake stays fit. But if they are fit, we have so many options to go for. But yeah, I agree. I don't want to see too much of rotation in the centre back positions. So
And if I was looking at the moment, I'd say Stones has started really well. Diaz has just looked a little off. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, I'm not saying drop him or anything silly like that, but if I was Diaz, I'd be thinking, I've got Stones next to me, great, but I've got Guardiola who's coming back, and I've got Cousinov who's biting at my heels right now, he's looking quality every time he's on the pitch.
I really
if I
like
was Diaz, I'd be thinking, I need to step up my game right now. Do you know what I mean?
And he has to. Yeah.
Yeah, he has to, because personally, I mean, the whole thing, a few weeks back, if not a month ago, was that people wanted him out, and I was just like, no, like he's still a quality centre back. Only, when we first came in his first season, he was voted the best player that season. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, Diaz is a great player, yeah, but he has to come back to that form. Like for the last year or so, he hasn't been great. He has been good, but he hasn't been great as he was previous 2-3 seasons. So I think he has to come back to that form, especially considering the amount of players we have in the same position now. If he's not at the level, I am happily giving that position, or like trying either Guardiola or Kusanov like instead of him if he doesn't perform well, because I don't think with the amount of centre backs we have any sure shot centre back which plays irrespective of his form. I think whosoever is in form, whosoever is playing well at that time will play as a centre back. So I think if he doesn't get his form back, let's give him like 4-5 games. After game week 6, if he is not showing that kind of form or not close to that form, we have to give chance to other centre backs as well, because you never know, they might be better for us in the team this year. So yeah, let's see.
Yeah, well, we'll say we are going to end it there, because I need to go down to my mother's in a minute. Dash Mash, I love having you on, mate, because by the way, yeah, this is, don't anybody notice this, Callum Doyle to Wrexham, 8 million quid, looks like. Again, someone else, I'm sad, I thought would have made it. It is what it is at the moment, sadly. There was major interest, but Wrexham, big spending Wrexham have come in and wanted him 8 million quid. Suppose it is what it is. I wish him all the best.
Just on Echeverry, has he left or it's
Echeverry
still
has gone. He's gone to buy Leverkusen on loan. No option to buy, only loan.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I would have partly liked to see him go to Dortmund because they have got a record of developing young players, but they want to
be on the Ten Hag.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I also have that worry. I think it had been Xavi, I'd have been ecstatic a little bit more, but
it is what
because,
it is.
Yeah, because
Again,
Dortmund wanted a buy option, City went.
I'm going to be straight. Echeverry's another one. Loads of hype, loads of let's get him in, and then dropped off the face of the earth again.
No, but Martin, this year we don't have space for him. Like actually, we don't have space for him. Like I would have happily kept Echeverry. I think he's
You're never gonna have
great.
space for him, though, Dash Smash. You never.
No, we might. Like imagine we don't have next year. The team is same. We don't have Gundogan. We don't have Bernardo. We don't have Kovacic. Already 3 players are gone.
Yeah. That's where Nico Riley will come in, though.
No, but still, we still have 3 less players. So,
well, we've also got
there
Nate
would be
as
space.
well. So
yeah, like those 3 will be replaced by these 3 youngsters.
Yeah,
then they'll fight. But
no, because they want to play. They want to play, and I don't. My issue is Foden, Cherka are too young to give Echeverry the minutes. That's where I'm worried. Echeverry wants to play,
but
Echeverry's not going to wait 5 years for Cherky and Foden to get out of his life.
But it's fine, Martin. Like not every player would be the starting player for City if if he wants minute, if he plays well this season.
Echeverry's leaving. He wants those minutes.
Yeah, that's fine.
He doesn't want to sit on the bench.
No, that's fine. Especially this year. This year, I am saying it's better he left because he needs to get minutes and he needs to play. And if he plays well, there are 2 avenues. Either he can come back or some team can pay good money for him.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Though I agree what you're saying. Yeah. I don't see him getting minutes even when he comes back next year.
Like
things can change.
Probability is less. Chances are less, but you never know. Chances are less. Yeah.
No. I hear what you're saying, but Phil Foden, people forget he's got 2 years left in his deal. For him to go up to a new contract, he's going to be one of the. He's going to be wanting to be one of the main men.
But imagine Martin, Echeverry goes to Leverkusen, has an amazing season. Do you think City wouldn't like him to stay and would offer him some sort of minutes that he agrees to stay at City?
No, don't think they offer anyone minutes.
No, not like guarantee him minutes. But let's say they had a discussion and Pep is like, I really liked how you played last season. Like you are let's say not last, but let's say just behind Foden or Cherky in my pecking order. And if he thinks that if he really likes City, he can stay. Like there's no point that every player would be like, I need 6,000 minutes, but I can't be happy with 4,000 minutes. Like I'm doing a rough numbers.
That's my issue, and I don't see him getting 3,000 minutes with Foden and Cherky in front.
Then we can get good profit for him.
That's what same with Naipan. Don't think Naipan will make it.
And this is how football is right now. Like you buy young players. Not everyone would be there for your team. You'll
that's
sell
the problem.
Most of them for profit.
Yeah. I've seen it this year, and this is why I'm I understand it, but why I'm disappointed in it. People are ready to give up on Savinho 1 year in to get Rodrigo. I honestly believe the days of these let's get youngsters in, for me, I think he's over with a lot. People are ready to ditch Trafford out for Donnarumma. Trafford's been here 3 weeks.
I would say,
someone Galacticos.
Yeah, but I would say Trafford situation and Savinho situation are quite different in the sense that Savinho has played for us 1 year. He has been good. I won't say he has been bad. He has been good. But when you actually say that if Savinho leaves and Rodrigo comes, obviously everyone would like that to happen. I want that to happen if that is a scenario. Because it's not just about Savinho being young. Let's say Savinho is 24 years old. I don't care. It's not about the age. It's about if we are getting an upgrade from Savinho to Rodrigo. Why wouldn't anyone like that? Like, it's just like my situation is just like that. But with Trafford, it's a quite different story because he came back to be number one, and we are getting like if we get
You're
Donnarumma,
getting a number one. But do you know what it is to me is, like I said, a lot of people were upset about Cole Palmer, but they're willing to do the exact same thing with Savinho. So don't moan in a year's time if Savinho
exactly. No, I
becomes a
agree
world
with that.
beater.
No, I agree with that point. Don't moan if we.
And I
if
haven't
we
said
used to
this
do that.
tonight.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the main reasons Soriano's put the brakes on it.
No, I agree on that point. You can't moan. Like if you agree on doing this transfer, you can't moan about this. That
No, but
Savinho
people
end up becoming a
did
nice
this.
player.
Yeah, that's what I mean, Dashmash. People, you know this yourself. People
Yeah,
did it
yeah.
over Doku. 2 years in, people are like, buy Doku. There's no loyalty no more. Let's go back 7 years. If we behave like this, Rodri would never have made it. Because Rodri had one of his shocking most debut seasons he's ever had. To a point, you know yourself, Alan was
Yeah.
calling him bloody Plodry for 12 months. He hated him. If that's what I'm saying, something's changed. And what's changed is we went one season without a trophy. And it scared everyone, including people at the club. But the one thing Soriano has never forgotten is the backlash from Cole Palmer. He will not allow that again. That's why Oscar Bob, you can loan, but we're not selling you. They don't want to get these talents and then lose them. They can't do it. Because City, I know this. Caldoon's biggest dream is make our own stars. They would love to do that.
But it depends on the talent they mind, because we've just let McAtee out the door on a permanent deal. So it does depend on that. And Savinho isn't coming from the academy.
You got to buy back.
Yeah.
I know he has, but what I'm saying is that Savinho's up from the academy. He's not a homegrown player. He's a young talent, but he's not in the same situation the likes of Cole Palmer. So they are slightly different, but I can understand City's hesitation.
Yeah, but
I personally think that if Spurs were to offer £70 million, I'm talking about, I think that's when City might do a deal. But I think if it's going to be from Spurs 50, 55, 60, I think City will just go, no, you don't need to sell.
Yeah, and Martin, on Cole Palmer thing, like, I actually don't think it was a bad deal from City, because at that time that was the market rate. We got good price for him, and no one knew he would be that good. So you can't just like, and if he stayed at City, like, there's a chance he wouldn't been this good as well. Like, he might not have gotten this much amount of minutes. He might not have played such greatly. So it's not like if he stayed at City, he would be great as well. He might not have been great, but the situation panned out how it panned out, and I still say we got decent money for him. Obviously, in hindsight, it seems like we got very less money, but I think the deal was fine. It's just that the better choice was in hindsight to keep him rather than to sell him. But
also,
you have to have losses.
He wanted to go. We have to remember that. He didn't want to stay. He didn't want to fight for his position. He was like, no, I want my time's up here and I'm going to Chelsea. Do you know what I mean? So there wasn't an option even to really keep him. So
yeah, but I think if we would have kept him, he would have played actually. Like, that's the thing,
but
because
he didn't want to
that's
stay, Dash. He didn't want to stay.
I think this is the thing that Dash mess that people are think of is fans think young kids are happy to wait. They don't want to wait. Kids don't have no patience no more. These 19, 20-year-olds are like, I'll go and play at another club, Villa, Tottenham, wherever. I'll play. They'd rather do that than sit on City's bench and rotate.
And to be honest, there's nothing wrong in that, in my opinion.
No, there's nothing wrong. But this, I mean, my only thing is, I love all the Donnarumma and the Rodrigo, so we get it. I know it's exciting, but be careful what you wish for, because you can't turn the clock back.
And Trafford had a nice debut though.
So I
Like,
mean,
just
no, you can't turn the clock back. Once you sell, you're sold. Tottenham ain't giving you a buyback on Savinho. There is no buyback to Savinho. Once he goes, he goes. That goes wrong. Don't bitch about it 12 months down the line if he bangs.
But if Rodrigo comes, then no one will moan. But if he goes and Rodrigo doesn't come,
That's
then everyone
scary
will.
for me though, Dash Smash, because
Yeah.
we're not that club. And if we're going to
Like,
go down that road,
no, but one
prepare.
transfer doesn't make you that club, Martin. Though.
No, it's
Like,
not one, it's two. I think the Donnarumma one's virtually the same. People want Donnarumma and Rodrigo for the name.
no, but if
Rodrigo,
both
let's
happens,
with
then
Dash
it's
Smash.
if
One thing
both
I do need
happens,
to
then
end,
it's
but Dash Smash. People are on about Savinho's goals. As Ozzy said, and I've never said this, Rodrigo doesn't score goals. So why do you want Rodrigo? The goal thing don't work with me. Rodrigo doesn't score.
He does only score against us. Like, that's
It's the name. I'd rather, again, just be honest, it's the name and where he's come from, and people are like, yay. If Mbappe was if Mbappe was linked to City tomorrow, some people would ditch Haaland for Mbappe. Some would.
Never.
No, but some would because of the
I
name.
agree. Some would.
Some are looking at the FC26 thing and going, yeah, Rodrigo, Donnarumma, let's go. And they're loving it, and I get it.
Don't forget, right, that Rodrigo's older than Savio by 3, maybe 4 years. So if you look back over Rodrigo's career 3, maybe 4 years ago, he was getting the likes of, so for 21-22 season, he got 9 goals, 9 assists. Before that, it was 2 goals, 7 assists. Before that, it was 7 goals, 3 assists. So you're talking about the same sort of age, all right, when he was getting those numbers. Okay, you move forward, and now he's getting like 10 goals in 22-23 season. Last season, 24 season, he got 14 goals, 10 assists. So he can produce the numbers, but I'm talking about that's overall. That's not just La Liga. That's over all competitions. So he does get the numbers, but we're not talking like superstar. We're not talking, the likes of buddy Mo Salah. Do you know what I mean?
He's clutch. He is clutch, though, Ozzy. I'll give him that.
Definitely. But we're not talking like.
And just simply the difference is Savinho is a potential, Rodrigo is a ready-made player. I think that's just the difference between them right now. And like, in my opinion, if 30 million pounds is the difference to get a ready-made player instead of potential, I think it's a good deal. Like, if
no, but we don't know. That's the thing. We don't know what Madrid are going to take.
Yeah.
I mean, people believe
a deal on the table right now.
Just in a hypothetical situation, if
I get it. And that's it's your
Yeah.
opinion, and I get it. And this is why we love it. We can debate vigorously. I love it. And you know what? We don't always have to agree. And I 100% know, because some will come at me and Aussie after this. No, we get it. Some love the Rodrigo Donnarumma stuff. They're begging for it. I'm just saying, don't complain 12 months later like we have done before. They've complained about Alvarez. They complained about Mahrez.
Who complained
about
Alvarez? We got such a good profit out of Alvarez, and he wouldn't have played this much for us.
But that's when you know yourself. It was we shouldn't have sold him. Some
and
people are even questioning Mamouche. We have become a very unhappy fan base over one bad season. That's what scares me.
And I was like, in the
we
match
become
against Wolves,
very unhappy over one bad season.
In the match against Wolves, I was thinking, how will Mamouche get in this team? Like he has to get in this team, but how? Because if we play like, who's the left winger right now? Like,
that's what I'm saying. And it's like this Bob Loving. This Bob Loving ain't gonna last forever until the next superstar rocks into the tweets, and then he'll be get rid of that Bob. That Bob's no good. Ditch him out the door. Rico, nobody wanted Rico Lewis last season. Now one good performance. Yeah. Don't you turn that Forest thing down until he performs bad again. And that's what I love about football fanism. It's what have you done for me lately?
And the best game is coming for that. City Tottenham. So
anyway, big up, mate. Dash Smash. We'll speak to you soon, bud.
Yeah.
Big up.
You.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Mate. Right, Ozzy, my old mucker. Right, not a huge one tonight.
No.
And we do
Someone pulled in
appreciate the ones who
numbers.
are here. Absolutely, like I said, even there's only 10 yet. We appreciate it. If you can smash those likes on the way out. There is a space while I'm doing some jobs around the house, not my house, my dad's house. Got to go and mop the kitchen and all sorts of lovely stuff.
Get your penny on.
Anyhow, pardon?
Get your penny on.
Yeah, penny on. Do the pots. What else do I do at like 3? I do all this shit at 3 in the morning. It's quite fun, you know. Anyway, tomorrow, loads of shows, 10 a.m. Blues Down Under. Governor, send me an email. mancunianway1894@gmail.com. We'll get you on with Pat. I probably will not be on. I'm trying to get out of these shows because
You're not an Aussie.
you know, well, it's not just that. Pat can host. I'm not an American, but I'm on the American one. But so yes, tomorrow there are 3 shows. Not only that, I've got 3 shows. There are 3 shows tomorrow. You know that, don't you? 3 shows. 3 shows tomorrow. Should we go through them? Let's. Tell you what, let's go through them. Why? Because we can. Where is it? Oh, the frig's it gone? Hang on, people. Stay with me. 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 Right. I'll let you all know what we've got tomorrow. No, that's
Anytime you like, Martin. Like,
anytime I like. I promise you, we're getting there.
All night, Martin. Blues Down Under, Americans, and what?
Right. At 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Oil Brothers. There we go.
Yeah.
I've done it. It's over. Good night, everyone.
All right. Oil Brothers, 7:30 on Through Black and White Eyes. Go and give that a lot of love because we've got to show that a lot of love. Also, at 10 a.m., Blues Down Under with Al, with Pat, with Rich, and hopefully Governor. He sends me the email. We'll get that sorted out. City Views from Australia. And then at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, UK time, Stateside Blues, episode 2, City News from the USA. So we're going to start in Australia. We're going to have a little stop off in Saudi Abu Dhabi, and then we're going to come back to Stateside. So, yeah, absolute mega show. DC, if you want to come on, let us know. You don't have to be on camera, let us know. But anyway, Ozzy, thank you, mate. Have a lovely week. We'll see you back for the Tottenham thing, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as always, give me those likes, find a few likes on the way out. I'd send you to LB, but I think he's finishing up now as well. So, yeah. We'll take you all. LB is live if you want to go over there. Take care. And as always, up the Blues. Big up to everyone who's joined us tonight. Take care.